No, I've just been learning and learning and learning. I didn't know anything about this medium before. See? And so you're actually my first guinea pig, huh? That one can, yeah, finally.
I don't know if it goes on.
I looked at the reel while it was turning, which I should have done before, but I was too excited.
You see, I go up. Now I'm going my hips. You want to take in front?
Yeah, I think we should.
On the back. You can do it from the back.
We'll do both, if you don't mind. You know, your arms have gotten much better. I see. Don't you think?
Of course. When you practice.
What do you think I should take? Because I can't get you all in. Just your legs?
You can't take everything in.
Everything doesn't fit.
It's very important, the legs.
Okay,
The
I've
head
got.
isn't mine.
Okay, I've got the legs.
Why don't you sit on them? No.
Let's see. Yeah, good idea. Okay, I got it.
It's always from down up. Down up. This is from me.
Okay.
This.
Raise your left hip more. A bit crooked. Ah, there you go. Should I go from the front?
Yes.
Okay, I'll do your feet, huh? That's good.
The important thing is that you lift, inhale, in the hips. And then you lift.
Are you still lifting?
You can see?
Yeah.
Too close.
No,
Go there where the chair is.
it's then I'm not straight. I have to
It's
be.
all right?
I have to be straight. Yeah, it's okay. I
I'm
don't.
not as close. Can go. But
I think it's just barely all right. There.
you see, you can see from the feet that I'm on the heels.
We should. Okay, let's do it.
The movement is this. Is this. From down up. You lift all the time. You see? This was not really good.
It wasn't. I want you to do any more than you want to do.
Jag tänker på nästa. You see now I lift and go down. I go up, 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 up. And then I go down.
Yeah, good, I got it. It's good. And we've also got the carpet, the blanket.
Blanket off.
Yes.
You do one blanket just for the fun.
Yeah.
Are you ready?
I'm ready. That's such a pretty pose, Vanda. It's such a pretty pose, that one.
Wait there.
I will.
ready?
Yeah. Okay? Oh yeah, that's a good one.
You ready?
Yeah.
Done.
It's going. It's moving. It should be anyway.
Ah,
Yeah.
go on.
Yeah. See, it's moving.
Do another.
It just keeps taking. And it records our voices too, eh?
Can you?
Yeah. That's how I can use it with the language, you see?
Ah, it's always there.
Yeah.
And then I say, inhale. When you exhale, you go in your hips. And elongate the spine. Inhale, and then go down on the hips. Elongate the spine. Exhale. Always lift the spine. Lift down, and the spine lifts by itself. This is the same. A little more. There is no difficulty if you do the right move. You go with the wave. It's a wave. Go with it. With the wave. Now you finish. I do the other side for myself.
Okay.
So don't lean forward. Always with the exhalation. Inhale, never movement without breathing. Inhale, exhale, and pull down. Inhale. When you exhale, you gravity down. You pull down, and it comes.
Explain it.
Yeah, it's better to explain, isn't it?
Yeah.
Now you do the forward bending, but it takes a little time because I have been corrected.
Right.
You have to always back bending and forward bend are exactly the same. You pull down this part and then you grow. Inhale. Pull down here. And it grows. It grows. You don't grow. Inhale. You pull down this and it comes. It comes. Inhale. Down and go. Inhale. Down and go up. Down and it goes up. Don't take it now.
Oh.
I was too much on this. You want to take this one?
Sure.
In front of Simon.
Just like this, I guess. I
Wait
think
a moment,
from...
don't do it now.
Okay.
No. And slowly this goes also. Slowly this moves too. Now you can take.
Okay.
Fiesole is this. From down up. Now you don't take it.
Wait, because I'm not there yet.
Can you take it?
I've got to get there.
On the bed.
No. Okay.
My hands. Can you see my hands?
Now I can.
You see the hands?
Yeah.
Can you change your hands?
In fact.
I am completely on my feet. And forward. Down and up. Down and up. What about?
See.
Those are easy. This. Going forward. With the body, not against the body. Forward with the body. Like this.
Good. Ah.
You see that my elbow touch the feet. You see my elbows?
Yeah.
They are nearly touch. In this one, what is important? You elongate the arm, and then to put the elbow down. This elbow.
Okay.
Move from down up. Boom, like that. Boom, boom. No. Elbow must touch the floor. One more. Now the double twist. Don't take it more.
Okay. Now I've got it turned on.
You can see what?
Yeah. It's incredible.
Pinch.
As long as you want, I can go.
Not bad. But
Okay. You have
I
to
do the other one for myself. Okay.
Okay. We're in Florence, and precisely Fiesole, which is northeast of Florence, but very, very close, at the amphitheater, Roman amphitheater. But this is actually Etruscan, an Etruscan temple, and 4th century BC. And I wanted to come here. We will be talking about the breath.
because I feel quite comfortable here. Many of the photos from my book were taken here at this very place. So I feel a little bit like I'm home, because we're going to be talking about something very, very important. Today, it's the breath. The breath is an amazingly large topic, as I think you know. Vanda's house is just beyond that hill. And so when we came for our lessons, we had the benefit of wonderful atmosphere and air. The air was very, very pure. So this is a logical place to talk about the breath. And the complexity of the breath, as with many things that Vanda's brilliance gave us, was that she was able to simplify things that were complicated. Concerning the breath, I would like to stay simple. I'm not going to try to teach specific things, because perhaps you might need a teacher for that. What I'd like to do is tell you a few basic essentials, and then share with you a few of the suggestions Vanda would give, which were images, and finally just a few anecdotes concerning breath, because that seems useful, interesting, and something you can do. So the breath, as we know, inhalation, it's taking in and receiving all that is fresh and new, and exhalation is the releasing. It takes time. It's something that we need to practice. On the other hand, Vanda had a way of getting to the very essentials. What she would say is to begin your breathing, simply inhale, exhale. Furthermore, do not try and do something long to begin with. Simply listen, focus, stay on your breath as it is in this very moment. There's the bell. I would like to invite you, when you hear a bell or something that gives you a sign, take 3 breaths. You will see it makes such a difference. Now, more about the breath. We, of course, did learn some techniques, obviously. Kapalabhati, Viloma, Shitali, and mumbling breath. And Vanda had her own way to teach that, which was with Om. But she would say, Om is not sung, it's vibrating. And she would go, she'd say, do this. And that's what we do. And actually, if you get used to it, you feel that your lips are vibrating. And it's a lovely suggestion. And lastly, for the moment, if you would like to have a few more techniques, I would very much suggest Sandra Sabatini's book, which is called Breath, the Essence of Life. And there you'll see some very Zen-like suggestions. Talk to you in a bit. We'll be moving around. Siamo qui. There were the Roman baths below, and I wanted us to have these 3 arches, because now we're going to talk about images that Vanda would suggest. And the first one may be more appropriate for beginners, because she would say, imagine there's the upper part of your breathing is the top floor. And then this part, the thoracic area, is our first floor. And then this is the ground floor, and the abdomen. At the end of the exhalation, this is always beginning with exhalation, starting up, going all the way down, and dropping, dropping, gravitating. If you're sitting, it's exactly the same. And then relax. You allow the new fresh air to come in. And again, start from the top floor, go down. Here we are at the first floor and the ground floor. And if you wish, you could even remind yourself by giving a bit of a hint to this can empty out. And you can squeeze out just like a sponge. That's another thing the Vanda would say. Now so that's the first suggestion. The interesting thing about images is that I was sharing them with some of my students who've done yoga for a long time. And what happened was I suggested things and they found a way. Perhaps they didn't do it exactly in the same way. However, their breathing was more harmonious, and some of them found different images. So don't feel, we don't have rules. We have very, very fundamental things, but then you need to find the liberty of expression of your own self. Once you find the grounding, once you find the lengthening, once you find the wave. The second image was a fountain. And this would be, as you inhale, of course, exhale, and as you're exhaling, you feel the fountain that is just opening, spreading. And then again, relax, inhale, and you continue like this with the suggestion of a wonderful water opening. Again, interestingly enough, one of my students said, I feel the fountain works better using exhalation and inhalation. Another person felt a waterfall. So you see, what I like to suggest is for you to feel the freedom of what's coming from within you following these suggestions. The third one is an accordion. With the accordion, obviously inhaling, we feel the large rib cage. Exhaling, there's the going back, but not closing. Closing is not in the picture. It's a total being taken back by the movement that comes naturally. We're not used to being into the true nature of our bodies. And all of this teaching is to take us there. So it does take time, and we mustn't force, we mustn't push. We have to find a way to get in touch with this natural movement. So again, an accordion can be a suggestion. And it's a very total kind of thing, since we know that the breath includes up, here, the whole lungs, back of the lungs, down into the back, through your sacrum, and you drop. I found this arch very, very interesting. We're above the amphitheater, and also this tree that's divided. It's quite curious. Anyway, I wanted to tell you a few anecdotes about Vanda. Just to give you a sense of how she could relate to the breath and how we can relate to what she has said. One was, she used to go down to Rome quite often, a long time ago, really before she started practicing yoga seriously. And in those days, it took a long time to get to Rome. And she said, well, when it rains, and I have the windshield wiper going, she said, I just start breathing. And I go inhale and exhale. And she said, before I know it, I'm in Rome. And so now you can practice that even when you don't have the windshield wiper going. It's like a metronome. It just gives you a steady pace for your breath. I have my system when we have a lot of traffic in Florence, and most of the time we are caught up by this. But I try and catch myself and remind myself to take 3 breaths, just like we practiced at the very beginning. Inhale, 1, exhale, 2, and so forth. And then, just bring yourself back to your breath. And you can do that often, but it's very helpful with traffic. Or if you get into the habit, you should have a signal, a green light or a red light. The red light tells you, inhale, I'm alive. Exhale, I'm alive. So that's one anecdote. Another anecdote was a woman who was doing yoga and a friend of Vanda's. She said, I get so anxious when I'm at the supermarket, at the store, and I just don't know what to do. And so Vanda told her, breathe into your feet, anchor them, and they get bigger and bigger. Do this, and you will shop singing. I have another one when I'm at the supermarket, and usually for many of us, it's kind of last minute thing, and so we've got somewhere else to go, and we get a bit uptight. So what I do is then I tell myself, I get a hold of myself, and I say, slower is better. And I stop my cart, I take a few breaths, and I just remind myself, if you go slower, you're going to get there faster. And when I'm doing my shopping, I actually can smile at the things that I'm taking without grabbing them. It works. You can try it. The last thing I'd like to share is this. This would appear, Vanda would throw it at my feet. It would appear, I don't know, innumerable times. And I would see it again, and I'd say, oh no, here are the lungs again. But the wonderful part of this story is that every time I looked at it, I saw things that I hadn't seen before. And so just to share this with you, so you too can have something to put at your feet and remember the breath. From starting, inhaling, relaxing, releasing, letting go. That's so important. And then exhaling through the top, down, 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 all the way down. We're in a different place. This is actually the stage of the amphitheater. And I'd like to summarize the 3 brief summaries. I'd like to summarize what we've done. So the first was the introduction to the breath, and remembering that the breath is such a wonderful tool that we have at our disposition. So when I'm exhaling, I'm releasing all the impurities, blockages are taken away, washed away. And when I'm inhaling, if I can remember to relax and not to control the inhalation, which is very difficult, but in time we do learn, then there's a wonderful moment of being filled. So it's from the emptiness to the fullness. The images. The images are there for you. And they're just ways, they're suggestions, and I'm sure that you will find your own. We're in a wonderful situation where I can look at a grain, the grass and the way it's moving. I can look at the trees and the way they're moving, and I can feel inspired. I'm inspired to breathe. I'm inspired to be happy for what I have. And even if I'm in a situation that's very difficult, when I came here originally a week ago to look over everything, it was pouring down rain. And what difference does it make? As a yogi, you learn to accept whatever you have, and we try not to make judgments. So that's the images, and then the wonderful anecdotes of Vanda herself. They were just moments when she would be able to transmit something, and we were the fortunate ones of us. Anyone who met her would benefit. I really think I can say that. I've heard so many people say that she said one thing, and they've remembered it. And I know many of you have read her book, and you're so inspired by what she's written, and that's just a wonderful gift that she's given us. Lastly, I did want to read to you a quote I found from Desikachar, The Heart of Yoga. Whatever happens in the mind influences the breath. A change in the breathing process influences the mind. Therefore, if we're in a traffic jam and we can remember to breathe, something happens within our mind. And you'll find that in so many instances. And lastly, I wanted to mention my rogo, which is your breath creates your life. Thank you. We are here in Fiesole, and this is actually where Vanda lived. This was her bedroom, and this is where we had lessons. And these are my grandchildren. This is Lisa and Dario. Lisa's 14, and Dario's 11. And today our theme is gravity, so the whole film will be on gravity. And Vanda used to have people play, it's a kind of a game, but it demonstrates gravity. And here's what she would have people do. So Dario, you pick up Lisa. Ooh, look at that. See how easily? Now, Lisa is just going to get in contact with the ground and feeling it. And you tell us when you're ready. Look at that. You see? That's what gravity is. That's the power of gravity. Okay, Dario, you come and do it. It's more impressive because he's lifting Lisa, and then there's no way. Okay, so we'll try. Here we go.
Okay. And then Dario, you concentrate. Tell us when you're ready. You see, even though he's not that heavy, when he is in touch with the pull of gravity, it's so much more powerful. So we'll do a few more things today with gravity and feeling the strength of gravity, knowing that when you are in gravity's pull, it's all the strength is from the waist down and the waist up is light. I just wanted to show you Dario, what a wonderful body he has. And you see, the body has the capacity to lengthen. And the more he finds the ground, the more he will be growing upward and upward. Okay, you could just turn around for a minute. Okay, see how good looking he is? I have a new yoga student. It's a little dog, but we'll hope he's not going to start barking and giving instructions. I just want to show you gravity. Lisa, put your hand here on my shoulder, okay? Now this, maybe the other shoulder, go over here on this side. This side has to, you see, I rotate down and I go into my elbow. So I'm going, you can touch it to show them. We go from shoulder blade down, gravity down to elbow. And it lifts. So it's down, that's gravity, up. Okay. Down. And I gravitate down, down, down. This part is going down, down, down. And that way I can lengthen. And there we have it. We've now moved from outside to inside, and we're actually in the room where we did yoga. So that was 25 years ago and before. And even to come back to her room, although it's changed so much, today I'm really feeling that we are trying our very best to pass on what Vanda taught us. And the subject is gravity. And we've been with my grandchildren. We will be with my students, just a few of them. And gravity is really, really important. It's such a foundation of Vanda's revolutionary way of showing how we can do yoga without forcing the body. How is it possible to go with the body and not against the body? And one of the fundamental ways is to go finding gravity. Gravity begins with your feet. You cannot try and readjust the upper part of your body without first finding your grounding and finding the pull of gravity if you really want to understand the way that we do our positions. Let me show you. You see, you begin by realizing that your toes can be very active and activated, and beginning from the big toe. See? Big toe. And this, of course, takes a long time to be able to find the way to do it. People, when they first begin, are usually a little bit like this. So in order to find gravity, we need to find this vital, alive part that we've lost completely. After you find your toes, then you can go into your heel, and it takes time simply to be with your body, because we're all coming from wherever we've been. That sounds funny, but it's like that. We're so far out in the world, and usually we're hurrying around, coming to the yoga lesson. There's all kinds of things can happen on the way. So whether you're outside or whether you're inside, take some time. Take some time and get into your feet. Or another position that I like a lot to begin with is simply lying on the floor with bent knees, breathing for a while, and then you find again, you get in touch with the ground, and therefore it brings you back into yourself. Once we've established stability with the feet and the grounding, our legs get drawn in to the whole picture. And the knees, your knees will slowly slide open. We don't push them. We stay in our heels and our feet. And slowly, you'll find that your whole spine begins to elongate. And the upper part of your spine gets light. There's this division at your waist. And that comes through gravity, the breath, and the wave. But above all, beginning with gravity. We need to understand that. We need to get in touch with it. And then you'll see, when you look at Vanda's DVD, you will hear her saying, down, up. Down. Down is getting in touch with gravity. So you can, I'm telling you this so you can really try and understand the difference it's going to make in your practice. So down means be in your feet. And then up simply means that your body is responding. And it's becoming lighter and lighter and opening. And then there's lift. And the lifting comes from the extension of the spine, going all the way up to the top through the head. This is gravity. And we shall now proceed and do a few positions with my students. I'll correct them. We'll look at gravity, and we'll see what we can learn simply by practicing. We're just going to try and have a bit of fun. Nothing too serious. We're not showing off because we're not that good. That's the truth. The really good person to watch is Vanda herself. Lisa only did yoga when she was 3 and 4, so I don't think you remember much.
I don't remember much.
No. Okay, so I'll just show you some of the techniques that we want to remember. We want to keep the heels open. This was one of Vanda's particularities. Then you breathe and inhale, exhale. First of all, you gravitate down, and then from down up. That's it. And as I was pointing out to Lisa, who's done lots of dancing, in the yoga positions, we keep long energy that flows all the way out through your fingers. Then turn your foot, okay? And we're going to, the important part here is gravitating from this foot And you inhale and exhale and extend downwards. Okay. Then, now the lovely thing here is the grounding of your foot, meaning gravitating, loosens your spine. Therefore, and we keep your head, like that. Perfect. Then we inhale, exhale, and come up again. Okay? You want to go to the other side? Mm-hmm. Alrighty. First you turn this leg here, then this one turns. You want to keep it aligned. And we remember to keep gravitating down. And we have this, the gravity will take you down through your legs and will give you the extension and lifting of the upper part of your body. So you inhale, exhale, go down through your... We have to remember too, this stays in, this stays on the outside and loose, as she is, and then you look up. And the idea that you don't necessarily have to be, she's very flexible, of course, but lots of people will stay high up like this, okay? The important thing is to stay long. And that's it. And come back up. Good. And then go down. Let's start in Tadasana, okay, the mountain pose. And remember your little toes. Open, stretch your little toes even more. Okay? More. Look down at your feet. Make sure they're aligned. Okay? And then breathe. Stay relaxed in your hands. Inhale, exhale. Up come your hands. You might look and see if your left and your right are parallel. Okay, then let's open. And the idea is exhaling down and it lifts. Okay? And then let's go. Did you do your, turn your left foot, your right? Okay, give yourself balance and space. Inhale, exhale, and then go to the left. Okay, so we're gravitating. Gravitate down, and the spine lengthens. We stay open behind the cervicals. Good. And your arms going up. Just want to remind you, when we are going down into Uttanasana, be in your feet, and remember not to go forward, but to stay backward. So in your heels, the toes, activating your little toe, and down, extend. Before we're not interested in just getting somewhere. We want to gravitate, lifts, extends, and go, and go, and go. So, you know, your spine stays loose, stays open, and we're not concerned with getting somewhere, right? So just enjoy it and do it again. Okay? And as you're breathing, we're in touch with the ground, and find the lengthening that comes and goes through the back of your neck, from down, up, and it lifts. So the concept, as you know, we're talking about gravity, and so the idea is good. So the idea is you get into the ground, okay? And you feel the lengthening. So it's not the idea of going forward, it's the idea of lifting and going up as you go. Maybe forward, maybe not. Everyone has a different body. Christine is wonderful because it took her years to be able to go forward.
Her legs is really into the earth. And slowly. Her legs are completely engaged, which allows for her spine slowly to lengthen.
So you find the gravity first, the foot first, the extension, and then slowly see if you are absolutely ready to become a tree. And then you extend. Again, it's always down, up. Gravity, the earth, the extension. And it's all there. Hello, we are in my studio in Florence, Italy, and I would like to explain to you my understanding of the wave. It is a very strong force which creates a lifting extension of the entire spine and is a cornerstone of Vanda's teaching. If you have not had an opportunity to experience it with a knowledgeable teacher, it can be elusive. The wave in action is best illustrated by Vanda herself on the DVD. She called the wave one of our three friends. The other two, as you know, are gravity and the breath. The starting point in finding the potential of the wave begins with our feet and creating firm contact with the ground. Experience the sensation of the surface you are standing on and take a few breaths. Inhale, exhale. Now bend over and use your fingers to open your toes, starting with your little toes, the fourth, the third, and the second. Now they'll be widely stretched apart. Therefore, you will be able to feel the bones underneath the toes, and you will have a better contact with the entire surface of your foot, including your heel. The whole foot is awakened. Now, if you stand back up again, you will find yourself more aligned and more in balance. And we are actually standing in Tadasana, the mountain pose. And we can learn a lot and have learned from the Egyptians because they were solidly in contact with the ground. Their bodies were noble and poised because of the way they understood and related to gravity. This understanding is the same thing that we practice. Conscious contact with the earth, which awakens the living potential that our feet have, calling gravity into play. Going with gravity, the legs and the back of the knees are engaged naturally without pushing. So this is part of the wave, and this process leads to a downward thrust, or the down part of Vanda's instructions. This firm contact to the earth is also the gateway leading to up, or the other word Vanda uses, which describes the double action that occurs behind the waist. The down leads to up. And this creates a releasing movement in the spine, and there is a natural lengthening. This lifting movement takes place thanks to the wave, and it allows an enjoyable, free extension all along the spine. As Vanda did her back bends, she relaxed and exhaled, going with this wave-like lifting extension. And that's the same thing that we do, gliding with the breath and gravity. She taught us how to do this. Not many people, however, can go all the way over to the floor, but that doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Because even a small, undoing, backward opening movement is sufficient. That's the truth. The most important thing, however, to keep in mind is that we need to listen to our bodies, never forcing them. Therefore, you need to remain with the up and lifting and opening, not trying to do more than that your body can actually enjoy. Experimentation and practice are the keynotes to understanding. Vanda was able to do back bends after years of practice, never bending at the waist, but rather lengthening. So we don't bend at the waist, we lift. She enjoyed the space that was created between the vertebrae, allowing her to lift the spine without any external intervention. And we do the same thing. She goes over and down peacefully, stretching and straightening, as graceful as a waterfall. It's important to keep in mind that this catching of the wave is present when we do any and all of the asanas. Therefore, if we're doing a forward bend, Paschimottanasana, for example, we will find first the ground, which is a down, and then there will be the up as a result, and then there will be the lift, and then we can go forward. This revolutionary approach works for all of us, and we can have the same beneficial effects by integrating these concepts into our practice. I would like to tell you an anecdote, just to add on to the wave. And one day, I came to my lesson, and I was wearing this t-shirt, which is, as I'm sure most of you are familiar with it, it's Hokusai's very famous big wave, grande onda. And she loved it. And she said, oh, let me take some photocopies of the wave. And so, of course, I made photocopies for her, and she was very happy to have them. And it gives us a little bit, a touch of the enormity of the whole yoga teaching and what we can do and how we can relate to many, many other things. And then another very sweet thing was one time when she came back, she would often visit Paula, her daughter, in Toronto. And one time she came back and gave me this T-shirt, which I've worn a lot, because of the spine. And then, of course, you see all the different ways the spine is combined. So, again, our practice is not limited, and it's not held tightly. So allow yourself freedom and allow yourself pleasure. Thank you.